Hey, I'm Farhat and this is Controller.ai. We built it so anyone can create advanced workflow automations without code. Let me show you a few places where current workflow builders becomes unnecessarily hard and how we solve them. Here, I'm building a workflow that runs when someone submits a contact form on our website. I want to send reply to this contact, and inside that message, I want to use dynamic data, like their name. For example, I want to say hi using their name, and I want name to be capitalized. In many tools, I would have to write something like this. For a non-technical user, that's a huge problem. You might think that the AI can solve this problem, but that really only moves the problem. If you don't understand the code, then every error, every field change, every broken workflow turns into a debugging exercise. That's not automation. That's maintenance. In Controller.ai, I can just use expressions by choosing from the dropdown. Here, I'm just going to click on Insert Dynamic Data. That's going to give me all the options. And if I choose Contact, I can see the fields available. And I can say name, and then here I'll see all available operations. And we have capitalized words, which will be exactly what we're looking for. Now, let's look at a slightly more advanced example. Sometimes people submit the contact form without entering their name. In those cases, I want to be able to say hi there instead of saying, for example, hi Sarah, the contact name. To do that, I can simply check if the name field is empty. Here, I can click the options, select is empty. Then we have an available operator formatted as text. When I select that, I can see that there's two options. The formatting for true is just simply when the contact name is empty, is true, then we will have this text output. And then if it is false, we will have another option to write. And this is very basic condition. So here, if the contact name is empty, I want to type there. And if it is false, meaning there is a contact name, I want to do the same thing. I can just select contact name and capitalized word. So the message becomes dynamic. This kind of logic usually requires JavaScript expressions in other tools, but here anyone can build it visually. Another big problem in workflow builders is conditional execution. Let's say I want to send this message only if the contact has an email address. In many tools, that pushes you to use an if-else logic or different nodes and additional steps. Here, every step has an input at the end called only when. So instead of thinking in complex if-else logic, I can just describe the condition directly here. I can just select only when the contact email is not empty. This means that this node will only run when the contact email is not empty. That's it. And if I wanted to be more specific and say, I want company name to be filled in this contact form too, I can just click and add additional condition. Here I can say contact company is not empty. So this becomes only when contact email is not empty and contact company is not empty. So instead of building branches, I just describe how or in which conditions this step should run. Now you might be thinking this is great for one step, but how about multiple step where the logic requires sort of conditional routing? For example, I want to send a reply message, but I also want to send a Slack message to my team about this new lead. And I want those actions to be taken only under certain conditions. Here, I added a Slack step. I can simply connect Gmail to Slack step by dragging the edge to the next step. Now, I want both of these actions to be run under same conditions. In many other tools, this is usually where you add an additional node to the beginning to do the routing logic or conditional if-else logic. Here, I can simply select these two nodes and create another flow. When I do that, Control.ai groups them together and replaces with one step called run flow. A flow is a reusable group of steps. So now, instead of managing routing logic, the additional nodes, I can simply use the condition on this and simply say email is not empty and contact company is not empty. Now, if I open this flow, you can see the group steps inside. That means cleaner routing, less complexity, and maintainable workflows. Lastly, I want to show you what I mean when I say Control.ai is built for AI. One of the most common things you would want from AI model in a workflow is a structured output. For example, I want AI to read the contact message and tell me if it is a spam and also give me a short summary of the message. If I ask that normally, AI model may respond like a chatbot. The message might be correct, but it will have additional paragraphs of information that we don't need, and extra explanation, and a format that changes every time. And that makes it really hard to use in a workflow. So what you actually need is a structured output, a response in a predictable format. In most tools, this is where it gets complicated, because you need to write a schema using JSON. For many non-technical people, that's a deal breaker. In Control AI, we made this native. Here, I'm using Ask AI node. I chose my provider, model, and wrote a simple prompt. Next, I can choose response data type. The response data type is simply asking AI to return the response in that shape. I have basic data types, but I can also create a new data type. For this one, I will create a data type called contact review. I will add a field is spam, which is going to be Boolean, and then summary, which will be a text. That's it. Now the AI response will be structured in a way that the workflow can use immediately. To show you how we can use AI response in the next step, I'm just going to add a step here quickly. After adding the next step, I'm just going to connect Ask AI node to Send Email node and use AI response in this node as a condition. So what I want to do is I want to simply check if it is spam or not. And if it is spam, I don't want to send this message. I can come here, select only when. That will give me all the options. And here I have the Ask AI output. I can select is spam, is true or false. If it is true, we don't want to send it. Therefore, I can just choose spam is false, and this is the only condition it will send. This is what we mean by built for AI. The data that AI model generates becomes a structured, usable inside every step. And these are just a few examples. We've redesigned many more details that a real workflow builder needs. Here you have dev and live version. You can safely update your workflows while the live version is running on production. You have a controller AI agent that helps you build workflows. On top of that, we support thousands of integrations. If you ever felt that the workflow tools are either too technical or too limited, this is exactly the reason why we built Control AI. We believe powerful automation should not require programming language. Yes, we should use AI, but only when we can understand what it does. If you feel the same way, visit us at getcontroller.ai. Thank you for watching.